Today's Sunday. Today I want to make a video about God. I want to make a video about something that was a topic in church this morning and kind of what I learned in church. And it goes deep. It's a really heavy topic. My pastor, Pastor Jim, he's a very good pastor and he described it very well. We're on the book of Job, and if you don't know anything about the Bible, I'll be able to explain it a little bit for you. Job is this character in the Bible, and he has all the wealth, he has the lands, he has 10 children, he has the cattle, and God kind of strips it all away. And throughout this chapter at Job, he's just going through it. And he's angry at God, and he's still talking with God, and he's questioning God in one of these sections. And in that questioning, he basically says, how could you do this to me, God? I don't understand, but I want to understand. And I want to know, how could you do this? And God basically answers him with a question. God says, were you there when I first created the lands, the earth, the heavens, the water, the animals? Were you there? Where were you? How could you question me? How could you question something that you weren't even there for? And it was the sense of humbleness that Job started to receive. Even after getting stripped away from his children, his lands, his wealth, his wife, all of it, God still humbled him with this kind of question, and it led Job just sat there kind of trapped in his own thoughts. Like, damn, I can't question God because he's doing things I cannot understand. I cannot understand God. I cannot understand why these things happen, why the Epstein files happen, or why some other tragedy happened in this earth. And then we stopped right there, at least for today. At the standpoint, and Pastor Jim really pushed the message of humbling yourself before the Almighty, humbling yourself before God, because we cannot understand him and we don't want to go toe to toe with him. We cannot fight with God. We cannot put on our boxing gloves or wield our swords toward God. That doesn't work, and we cannot control it. You try to control the uncontrollable, and that's when all the things happen. And I always talk about controlling the controllables, right? Your inputs, how you move your body, the way you lift, how intense you go, how many times a week you go, what kind of food you eat, how much fluids you drink, all of that. That is controlling the controllables. But what you cannot control is the Almighty Creator, God. And when you try to, you run into a bunch of problems. When you don't humble yourself and you say, I got this, I can do it on my own, you start to lose that sense. Now, with this message, bro, it rings true, because even me, I have trouble humbling myself. I have trouble, submitting myself to a higher power. I don't like submission. I don't like authority, but God is the authority. He is the one, the Creator, the Almighty. And so I was just thinking about, myself, and I was thinking on how this applies to my own life. And he also pushed a point on, getting on your knees before God, bro. Like, actually getting on your knees and praying. Because there are people that believe in Allah, a false prophet, a false God, that that's how Christians believe is Allah is not God. Jesus is God, the Holy Trinity, right? The Holy Spirit, God, and Jesus Christ. And so this is just something to think about, because they get on their knees and pray 5 times a day, but we don't do it rarely as Christians. So yeah, interesting topic. My name's Aidenhatchett. Why you should even listen to me. I'm an online fitness coach, and I'm also on this journey of finding myself through God. And I became a Christian last year. I didn't even know what that meant, but now I'm starting to understand more and more as I read more of the Bible, and I go to attend more church, and I talk to more people about it. And so this is just something that I know will help you in your life, which is why I'm speaking about it this Sunday. Because if you can involve these topics that I'm talking about into your life right now, today, your life will only get better. My life has gotten more intense. It has gotten more difficult. I have ran into more challenges, but through those challenges, I grow. Through those challenges, I grow, and those challenges are always with a purpose, especially when God is the center. I actually just pulled up to the steakhouse. It's pretty slow this evening. I'm trying to get off this Sunday evening. We'll see. I already put my 2 weeks in at this job. And so, I really want to focus more on content, really want to be bringing y'all a bunch of value that I know can help you, similar to this video, involving fitness and faith together. But yeah, back to the topic of what I learned in church was just that, right? To humble myself more. How many times have you gotten on your knees and prayed? How many times have you prayed? How many times have you submitted to God? Have you asked God, what can I do? And especially through the suffering, right? I mean, I've suffered, even last night, just brutal shifts. Last night was brutal, dude. And through that suffering, can you stay open to God? Even if you're angry, can you stay connected? Can you not distance yourself from Him? Because I believe all men, we have a standard to upheld. At least, for you on the other side of this phone, if you're watching me, you've watched this far, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Every man has a standard to uphold. And when you involve God or Jesus, that standard is almost impossible to reach. But it is a higher standard, and it raises. And every year, you should be raising your own standard as a person every single year. Now, to live like Jesus, a sinless, flawless person, pretty hard to do. But if you raise your standard every single year, every single month, every single week, every single day, then you will be getting better and better and better. I created the FORGE method, FORGE. Fitness is your foundation. Order your morning, relentlessly execute on your goals, guide over everything, evolve and evaluate. And if you can involve this method into your life and intertwine it, I guarantee your life gets better. So yeah, that was the main lesson that I learned in church today, was humbling myself, was being humble, submitting myself, right? Actually getting on my knees in front of the Lord and really taking to heart what that means. What that means, bro, because it is a difficult topic to grasp, especially if you're going through it right now, which everybody's going to a storm, coming out of a storm, or heading to a storm, coming out of a storm, or in a storm. Everybody is, no matter where you are in life. That is how life goes. You don't live without problems. If you are alive and you are breathing, you have some sort of problems, right? There are problems all around you, or you're either, if you don't have any problems, you're going to a problem, you're coming out of a problem, or you're in one. That's what that quote means. And when you involve God into your life, those problems now become purposeful suffering, because you have to have faith that God's character is as it is in the Bible. You have to have faith that He is good, He is holy, He is merciful. You have to hold that faith in order to grow with God. That is what faith is called. It's called faith, right? And so, yeah, bro, humbling yourself and knowing you can't control it, but you can control the controllables. You can do the things that, will actually move you forward, but there are also things outside of this realm that we can control, bro. So God is a very real person. He's very real. He created everything. If you're on the fence about that, I don't even know why you watch this video this long. But you should do some digging yourself. Don't take my word for it. Please start asking questions. Seek truth. That is what the light is. Light is truth, and you must seek it for yourself. You can lead a camel to a water pit, but you can't force the camel to drink. And so, yeah, I hope this video at least guided you in some form or fashion. My name's Aidenhatchett. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You can click the link down below to work one-on-one with me to get in the best shape of your life through discipline and direction. There's also my Instagram handle down below. But other than that, gentlemen, I'm out of here. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.